Deacon. No, turn it off, boys.
So, on the camera.
Come on, Maggie. Come on, Wolfie. Wolfie, you better fucking give it up today, boss. You got a chance to win today, boys. Come on. What now, Wolfie? You got right foot.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Kick it, it will go over the bar.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the AFL NT's coverage of the 2024-2025 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League in Darwin, Larrakia country. And this is a twilight clash here in Palmerston at Cazalys Oval between Palmerston Magpies and the PINT Football Club. My name is Mark Dodge, and I'm joined in my commentary partner this afternoon with Stu Davis. G'day, Stu.
G'day, Mark.
How are you finding this weather? Nice and cool and wet? Yeah,
I noticed there was a pretty heavy downpour at Gardens this afternoon, but pretty isolated, I think.
Yeah, look, it certainly was. It was certainly heavy in patches, but the game generally was played as a wet weather football game, as you expect this time of year. But the rain wasn't actually raining the whole time down there, so yeah. It didn't cool it down much, I've got to say. It was still hot and humid.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is, isn't it, this time of year? But
yeah,
no, it feels like it's a bit cooler when the rain.
Technical issues, but we're back on. There we go. Game, this one, it's a near bottom of the table clash with some entertaining storylines, with both sides seeking their first win in over a month. A home deck win for Palmerston will likely avoid another wooden spoon for them, but also help improve their very disappointing stats this season. And of course, PINT, we were talking before, Stewie, about how they started so well, but they're looking to move into sixth spot. They've had a few losses, and with Wanderers facing ladder leaders St Mary's, who actually beat yesterday. This is a fantastic opportunity not to be missed.
Yeah, that's right. I think they'd probably be disappointed with where they sit so far into the season. They would have been hoping to be better placed to fight for final spots. So they're really up against it now. But obviously tonight's game is a crucial one for them, and they've got talent in their side, but I'm a little bit worried about players missing for PINT, like Connor McDonald and Silver Youssef this week, Lockie O'Brien this week, and Harry McKimmie. Those really important players for them, not in the side this week. So interesting to see how they go. And see number 31 there for Palmerston, Tom Coughlin, plays in the ruck and was having a terrific game against Tiwi last week over there. So he'll be one to watch tonight in the rock contest. Got his hand to almost every ball, but he's got some pretty stiff opposition tonight in Josh McCarthy and Big Riley Main when he goes in there as well. So that'll be an interesting contest to watch.
It is. If you look through the PINT lineup, they've got plenty of talent there. So this will be an interesting game. A good chance for Palmerston to sort of stretch their muscles and be very competitive this game, if not take it from them.
So, first bounce, it is Coughlin up against McCarthy. No clear winner from the hit-out. Sean Wilson gets the first clearance, and it's just helped on its way down towards half forward. But PINT trying to work it out of defence as Nico gets his hands on the ball and gets wrapped in the tackle, and it'll be a ball up just forward of the centre square towards Palmerston's attacking end at the far end of the ground. Quick hands there gives PINT the chance to clear out of defence, and the chip pass out by Dale goes close to the boundary line, but that's gone over the boundary line, in fact, which is a fair way in from the fence here at Palmerston these days at Cazalys Arena. But
they're avoiding the snakes, I think, Stu.
It takes a bit of getting used to for the players, I think, as we see that one just made its way into the field of play before it went out again. So Dale once again will take that free kick, and he's going to have to go back over the mark. In fact,
they're going to ball it in.
I think it's been ruled that they're trying to determine whether it actually got into the field of play before it went out, I think. Which it was.
They awarded a free kick again. So here we go. We'll start again.
Yeah. So exactly as we thought initially. So Dale brings it in back into the corridor, just slips through the hands there of Wilson, but PINT off the outside of the boot, a clever little kick, and picked up nicely on the half volley by Jorgensen, and now spreading to the outer side of the ground again, and a nice mark taken by Schmetzer Schmetzer plays on now with the hands, and over to Wilson, who gets it out wide, and Elliott gives it off. Chip pass into the centre of the ground, but it's chopped off here, and Bazine for Palmerston kicks it down towards half forward, where Walsh is in a one-on-one, hand passes to his own advantage, then kicks off the ground, goes straight over the boundary line. Be interesting to see what the umpire's decision here is.
Well, it was deliberate, but probably they're pretty hard to call those ones early.
I think that's the way he's going to call it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there certainly weren't any players in front of him as the short pass finds Fraser Dale once again, who's looking to switch, and he finds Chalmers just out from the goal square.
Chalmers patrolling the back line very well. He's all over the place, running it backwards and forwards, both sides of the ground.
And now see around the boundary line finds Cameron Wilson.
One or two Wilsons playing tonight, one on each side.
Yeah. Goes in short to Dale, who's made his way from the far side of the ground.
Very stagnant at the moment, but I guess it's just they're just trying to fill each other out. Also very, very wet, so they're just being careful with the way they place the ball.
Yeah, nice sliding mark taken by Bates, and he gives it off to Wilson again, who kicks long down towards half forward, taken on the bounce nicely by Brett. He swings around on the left boot, switches into a dangerous place in the corridor. Snapshot from goal. Looks like it's going to be good. It is good. And Pint with the first goal on the board, and just from this awkward angle, I'm struggling to pick up who the goal kicker was, but we'll see who they're congratulating, and we might come back to who the goal scorer was, but it's Pint first on the board.
A real good front and centre goal too from a ruck rover, I think, and just at the right place at the right time, got hold of the football, controlled it beautifully out of the pack, and just made sure of it this time. And that ground out there is it's very muddy on one side. So on the commentary, if you're looking to the screen, it's on the right of screen, very, very muddy, as you can see. But the other side, the left-hand side, is dry, as most NTFL football grounds are at the moment. Gardens was the same, Nightcliff the same last week.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, they don't just play the games on these grounds. They're training all during the week for the grades right across the board, so there's plenty of traffic on them. Especially
with the AFL NT now trying to protect TIO as much as possible, keep the grounds in good condition.
It's true. As Shot gets the clearing kick for Pint, running onto it here is Jorgensen, paddles it to his own advantage and then gets bundled out of the way. Good defensive work from Palmerston as they work it through the hands. That kicks off target though, and gives Pint another chance with a shot at goal, and it's Jorgensen who takes the mark about 30 metres out on not much of an angle.
He seems to be a bit of a ball magnet already, Jorgensen. He's had plenty of touches, not sure how many, but I've seen at least 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's right. And he's in
a dangerous position here.
One of those Ovens and Murray contingent that are up here for the season. There's quite a few spread across the clubs, and he's from Wodonga. His kick's on the way. The crowd like it. He likes it. So another goal on the board to Pint, and they've started in good fashion here with the opening couple of goals, which is just what they're looking for after, as we said, they've had some good performances during the year, run good sides close, but haven't been able to get the wins. And the reality is that the only teams they've beaten Palmerston once before, and Darwin, I think. So that's about where they sit at the moment. Yeah, and
they've had an issue with goal kicking. They've been kicking a lot of behinds, which shows that I guess they're just rebuilding that forward line. But the last time these two teams met, it was an easy win to Pint. Round 5 it was. It was Pint won 12-9, 81 to 5-6, 36. So it was a big win. And in fact, I think the last 3 games they've played over the last seasons, it's been big wins to Pint.
Yeah, Palmerston, of course, in something of a rebuild phase. Plenty of young players, as we see Sean Wilson with the clearance out of the centre. Mark spilt there, but tied it up at the back. Or good pressure on Maloney, but he still gets a kick away to the outer side, and Chalmers does nicely to get the hand pass back inboard, and the kick down, just Mark spilt by Miller and puts himself under pressure. Ryan Wolf comes in now, swings the left-handed hand pass out towards his teammate Spencer Fox, but Fox is caught with the ball underneath him here and maybe penalised, I think, for dragging it in, and he is. So
pretty tough call, isn't it, in the wet? But the rule's there and duly executed. Kicked it beautifully out to the wing there, and he's just eyes darting everywhere just to see where he's going to be kicking it. It was a big long kick forward, Lots of players there. It looks like Palmerston are going to repel this pretty quickly. They've set up pretty well behind the ball. Bit of scrambling going on, so I think part of that will be the conditions, of course, being very, very wet at the moment.
Yeah, Pine have closed in pretty quickly to stop the clear possession coming out, but Wilson manages to get one, but unfortunately his teammate there's fumbled it, and now Pint looking to work it forward, but again it's scrambly at ground level, nicely picked up, but just losing his footing there was Selwood, and he gets caught with the ball.
I think there might be a free kick there to Palmerston as a push in the back.
Yep.
Just slightly off the ball.
So Selwood chips it out wide.
And Selwood and Shawnee Wilson are doing very well across the midfield there for Palmerston.
So that ball slips out the back, or good contest at ground level, and by Somerville, who got it to his teammates as an advantage. It slips out wide now to Wharf, who tries to pinpoint a pass down towards half forward. Good hands and a shot for goal here, going close to the line. Running back with the flight of the ball was Fox, but couldn't complete the mark, and it comes off hands and over the boundary line for a throw-in.
A chance for Palmerston to reset again, and pressing pretty hard towards the goal here. If they can get one back here, it'll keep the game alive for them and also give them a stack of confidence. You can't go 4 or 5 goals down without scoring. It destroys the morale in the team. So
from that throw, McCarthy makes front position, bats it straight down in front of him, where he had a couple of teammates waiting, but good forward pressure again from Palmerston here.
Just able to lock the ball in, and
yep.
Mark Tyrrell, the coach of Palmerston, will be pretty happy with that. He works a lot on that, locking balls in and making sure that there's no easy exits or entries. So
just as we speak, there's a snapshot for goal from Palmerston going across the face, going right across the face, in fact, and has hit the behind post on the full. So
a scramble kick forward, and I think that's one of the things that Palmerston need to have a bit of a look at. They've got a bit more time than they think they have. Pint's definitely not the quickest side in the league, so they've probably got a chance to sort of take a second or two and look at where they're kicking the ball to.
So Chalmers and Dale waxing again in the back line, as they have done a number of times early in the game. So Dale close to the boundary line on the outer side of the ground, picked up on the half volley by Wharf, who got the hand pass over the top, but he's put his teammate Walsh under a fair bit of pressure close to the boundary line up there. There's a bit of
showing the colours a bit, the
yeah,
lads.
Yeah, that's right. Not really happy with each other at the moment, as eventually...
He's paid a free kick too. He's paid
going to Ryan Wharf, who wouldn't let go of the jumper.
Yeah, he just caught him over the shoulder, and I think that's an umpire just trying to keep control of the game, which is fair enough. That's what they're there to do.
So Wharf from 50
Great
kicks
kick.
long to the goal square.
Just need a mark here, or scramble off the back deck. It's just almost there for Palmy, isn't it? They just almost got that right in the forward line there.
But
Pine repelling very quickly. Look how quick they're coming down that wing.
Through the hands, they've moved it all the way outside a defensive 50, and shot on the left, kicks it out to just forward of the wing, but that one's knocked over from the marking contest, and it'll be a boundary throw in on that outer side.
It's not going to be a game for big forwards obviously today, so the small running forwards and the mids are the ones that are going to control this, and at the moment you'd say it was pretty even though there's 2 goals to nil. I think both sides are pretty much in a big arm wrestle. So from that ruck contest, quick kick out of gets Pint going forward as Ryan gets another one forward as he's tackled to the ground, but ball slipping out of the hands down there. Now Palmerston looking to run the ball out of defence. Did well there.
By hand, but maybe the early kick would have been better to clear it out of the danger area. And you can see the green and gold jumpers there. There's plenty of them, but Palmerston still applying the pressure in and around the footy, and the whistle's gone here.
And I think what Pint can do, and they've actually got a free kick here, but they can spread a little bit bunch. They're all following the ball. That's a great kick forward and a good mark.
Chris Neild. It is. Chris Neild would be their leading goal kicker. I think he's got 16 goals up until this stage of the year. So
having a great season, and I think this one shouldn't trouble him at all. But that's also the commentators' curse. So we'll see how we go there. Don't put the moz on him too early.
Yeah,
but
he's been a great target for him up forward. So,
and what a great mark too. Just stood his ground and held strong, and it's so important to keep your feet, particularly in these conditions. Comes in, he looks like he's going to kick it on his preferred left foot.
Kick on the way, goal umpire doesn't move, so They've been pretty efficient when they've got around the goals. Pint 3 straight at the 11.5-minute mark of this first quarter, and Palmerston have had it deep in their forward line a couple of times, but just haven't been able to hit the scoreboard yet.
Haven't been able to hit. You're watching AFL-NT's coverage of the 2024-5 TIO NTFL season here from Cazalys Arena and here in Palmerston. Weather conditions are holding pretty well here at the moment. It looks like there may be a bit of rain around, but at this stage, conditions you'd say are average or good for this time of year.
Yeah, it's pretty scattered, isn't it? There's no deep bands coming across as far as we could see pre-game, but hopefully it stays that way for the duration.
Still very high humidity, around about 87%, so the feels like temperature puts it up around about 32, 33, even though the current temperature is sitting around 27, 28.
Yeah, temperature doesn't get much better than that up here in the footy season, that's for sure. So it's Palmerston who've worked the ball down towards half forward without really any possession, but just forcing it forward.
Almost a rugby league style of game at the moment. They're all pushing forward, pushing bodies in, and just trying to get the ascension. But Pint are doing it very well with a 3-goal lead currently.
And
Kicked
they
out
clear,
nice and wide.
Yeah, clear this one out of defence, and that's good use of the body by Bates.
He's got a couple on there too, and forward. It looks like he's going to kick it beautifully, and he's got the ball right in his hands and just dropped it. Yeah, he should have had that one because that was coming in just on the drop, and that's the easiest mark in football, that one.
Yeah, he worked himself into the right position, hadn't he, Chris Neal, but just didn't hold the mark, and as it spilled out, went over the boundary line.
He was very disappointed with himself, and he'll bounce back on that one, but that's the sort of mark in these conditions where you get very few opportunities. You need to hold those or at least bring him to ground.
So from that throw in, ball batted forward. Palmerston first hands on the ball, just slid off the fist trying to hand pass inboard there from Barnett, but slid over the boundary line. Will be another.
And the Pint players are all hailing cabs there, appealing for a deliberate, but that'd be pretty unlikely with 2 or 3 hands on that on the way out. You can't hang anybody for trying, no?
So a bit of strength in the ruck contest there as the hand pass comes back. He's
stripped to the ball, though.
Another chance as the long shot comes in right to the goal line.
Kick. He's almost there.
But, good defensive work from Palmy is right.
And they're out here, so they've got a good chance to run forward. They're running down that the far wing there and kicked a beautiful kick right in the path of the player there. And, looks like it's a long kicking forward, and they're going forward again. Palmerston, it looks like they've got a good chance here with Shawnee Wilson lining up on a long way out. Long kick forward.
Gee, look at the numbers back for Pint. Really well organised, and that one's chopped off by Schmetzer, who chips it to the outer side of the ground, and Pint have spread pretty well here and got players in position as Brad Ryan gets on the end of this one and advances it around the wing again. They're
playing clean footy at the moment, Pint, aren't they? They just got that spread going well, and they've covered everything that's been coming forward from Palmy.
Warburton goes long, or Agricultural try to hack out of the air there, and that gives Pint the chance to go inside 50 again. The kick.
That's what's called a coach kill. That one makes them pull their hair out, because you did get your body behind the footy in these conditions and try and hold it in, but he tried to hack it out of the air, and I think it's resulting in a real chance for Pint to look at their 3rd goal here. They're giving a real good look here.
Yeah, you can see the proximity to the goal square there as the ball's thrown in, hit out from behind, and Wack gets a hand pass across to Nico, who clears around the outer side for Palmerston, gets it outside of defensive 50. The big fella Riley Main for Pint just tried to work it forward, but didn't get much purchase on it, and it slides over the boundary line for another throw in.
Good clearance from fullback though, got it right. And that's Cameron Knight kicking the ball forward. Cameron Knight, as the ball's rebounded again out of the back line by PINT. So their run and spread is very good. PINT, they're getting setting up well behind the ground, behind the ball there, and they're keeping the ball forward. And there we go. So Palmerston once again, we apologise for a few technical issues, but Brian Bonham's lining up for goal here for Palmerston. Kicked the ball right to the top of the square there, into the podium. It looks like the umpire's going to call a free kick here. So the big redhead, I'll just pick up his number in a second, but he looks like he's going to kick the first goal for Palmerston in this game. He's not listed on our team sheet, so I'm not sure who that is.
It's Deacon Somerville who's directly in front, but he's just leaned back on that kick and squirted it off to the right, unfortunately for Palmerston. And
they're not going to have many chances to go better than that one, Stu, and I think that's that's one of the stories of Palmerston's night. They're actually not getting the result from all the effort they've got going forward, but still fighting very hard. So the current score is Palmerston 1 point and PINT 3 goals, 0-18. So an easy win at the moment for PINT, but they've also been stopped in this scoring forays. In this sort of weather, you need to be 4 or 5 up all the time if you can.
So shot with the clearance out there, and the big fella, Riley Main, takes the mark. He hacks it around the wing on to the left of screen there as the ball spills forward again, and Palmerston just trying to force it forward. There's an air shot there from Bazine. It sees Cameron Wilson for PINT clear away again out into the hands of Brad Ryan, but just bounce off his hands and over the boundary line just by the interchange gates there.
Now you say at this point in time the game's in a bit of an arm wrestle, so one of these sides is going to break. They're going to break free and get the ball moving very quickly. So it just depends on who. At this stage you'd say PINT were, but Palmerston right in this match. They've got plenty of enthusiasm, running really hard for a very young side.
So the ball forced forward. Tristan Wack lays the tackle on shot.
If you have a look through the team sheet for Palmerston, there's not too many players born in the 90s. They're all in the mid to early year 2000, so they're all very young.
Yep. This Main wins a hit out. That's a
shot
hack out of the air by Schwarzenberg, and Tristan Wack underneath it claiming the mark.
I'm not sure that you can claim a mark when it only goes 10 metres forward and 25 in the air, but that's fair try.
So Main wins a hit out again, beautifully directed down to Jorgensen, who kicks forward, but he was under pressure as he kicked, and Selwood takes the intercept mark for Palmerston. He goes short, but too short, and chopped off. And it was Ben Brett who was Johnny on the spot there, just read the kick coming out, just didn't have enough on it, and gives PINT another chance.
I was just about to say that Selwood are playing very well, but that's an absolute shocker, and you can't do that on the back line. You're just going to give an easy shot for to hit forward here, and this could be the fourth goal, which they would be pretty happy about. PINT, if they could go 4 or 5 goals up by quarter time in wet conditions, they'd be pretty happy with their quarter so far.
So it's Brett. Ben Brett kicking from about 50. Long left foot kick on the way.
Didn't look like he was going to make it, did he?
Yeah, he's trying to get the distance. He's just pulled that one to the right, and it's gone out of bounds on the full. And
probably a chance once more. There's probably a few minutes left for Palmerston to get the ball forward if they move it quickly. They need to get a goal here, or it's going to make it difficult. You've got to score at least 1 goal in the first quarter, no matter who you're playing.
So Nico undecided and then runs himself into trouble, almost caught one high. I think he might be penalised here, and He will be. Ben Brett lets him know about it, made the tackle. But, there was no movement forward of the ball for him, and he tried to manufacture something himself, got caught, and now this is going to be a difficult shot. The siren's just gone, and he's about 5 metres outside the boundary line. So,
and right on the Palmy Army wing there. Although he's got a couple of supporters there helping.
Yeah, he's getting plenty of advice, that's for sure.
As you do, playing down at Palmy, it's always an interesting day down there.
So can't run off the line, of course. As his kick on the way looks pretty good, just dragged it to the near side and through for behind. So that's the end of the first quarter. And
it's like a 3-goal, 1-19 lead to PINT over Palmerston, 1-1 currently. And there's a bit of melee going on in the middle, bit of how do you do and how you going type of stuff going on there.
Yeah, that's right. Just saying we'll see you in 6 or 7 minutes' time when the second quarter starts. So that's the state of play. It's PINT with a 3-goal lead at quarter time. We'll be back after the break with the second quarter.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Cazalys Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Cazalys Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AFL NT's coverage of the 224-25 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League in Darwin, Larrakia country. This twilight clash here between Palmerston and Cazalys Arena. Interesting first quarter. I'll just go quickly round the grounds and have a bit of a look what's happened today. Last night, Wanderers were able to get the chocolates over St Mary's in the Tiwi Bombers versus Nightcliff game. Nightcliff were victorious there 116-55, and a massive result out there at Fred's Pass with Southern Districts just going on kicking 34 goals, 7, 211 to poor old Darwin Buffalo's 8 points. 1 goal to 8 points. Yeah, so. Some big results coming up, Stu, and that makes it very interesting going into the serious end of the season, which is straight after Christmas. Yeah, that's right. The gap between the top four and the others is certainly starting to widen, isn't it? With Tiwi losing it today, they're still under pressure in that fifth place, I guess. But it would have been good for them that St Mary's actually lost, because that sort of gives them a chance. Look, Saints always come back strong after Christmas. Tiwi traditionally haven't been that strong after Christmas, so we'll see what happens. It's a very interesting season, that's for sure. Yeah, their side's a bit different makeup this year, so it will be interesting. As we're back underway here at Cazalys Arena, and you can see that it's pretty wet and slippery in the cricket pitch area in the middle of the ground there, as the high kick comes out to the wing. Ryan Wolf parks himself under it and takes the mark for Palmerston, and now drills the ball going forward, just slips off the hands of Hunter Lewis there as PINT work it out the back. Wilson chips it round the outer wing, but that's nicely chopped off, and Palmerston will bring it back in again inside forward 50. The long kick. There's a pack of players around the ball. PINT work it out again with a quick kick out of defence from big Josh McCarthy, and again they've got numbers around the ball as they get it out wide to Dale. He hacks a kick forward around the wing as first hands on the ball down there was Connor Wright, and just lowered the knees a bit, got one a bit high, and wins himself a free kick. Very experienced player with a very experienced way of getting a free kick. So Wright chips it into the corridor where Somerville had it in the hands, but couldn't hold on to the mark, and the clearing kick from Schwarzenberg sees PINT off and running down the ground now as Jorgensen gets it out wide, and now a long kick in pretty good towards goal, but goes across the face and through for behind. Peppering the goals again. PINT starting this quarter off as they finished the previous one, and Palmerston must respond here. They must get 1 or 2 goals quickly just to get back in the game. Yeah, that's right. They've probably had enough of the football, but there's just not enough clean football to give themselves a chance to score, particularly going forward. But they look clean in patches, Stu. Yep. Just when they get past that half forward flank, that's when they have a bit of centre forward. Even as he turns the ball straight over, just as I said there. So. Yeah, that's right. That's disappointing from Wack as Dale tidies up again across half-back, as he has done all night so far, and he finds the captain's shot, who chips the ball in, but this one's nicely chopped off by Wack, and gets it by hand. And now as Patrick kicks forward, but again just misdirected and easily chopped off in defence by Thompson for... And the run and spread here for PINT looks very good. They're spreading very well. They're moving quickly. They're in a lot of space. And there's, just as I say, that they get the ball clear on the wing, looking to go forward, pass centre forward, and a big jumping dive of a mark. Not able to take that in these conditions, but was able to hold it down there, the big fella, which that's what you've got to do in these conditions. That's big Riley Main. He just parked himself under the ball and just made sure that he didn't move out. So Josh McCarthy's won the free kick here, chips the ball inboard to Shot in a bit of space, just forward of the centre square now. On the left boot goes wide again. There's a couple of grabs at that one. The mark's being claimed. I think that's Riley Main again, but I don't know that this one's going to be paid here. Seemed to be the only player that got hands on it, but the call from touched off the boot, maybe. I'm not sure. Cowan was that it was touched, so it's a ball up. And Main gets his hand to the ball, and, as Brett. He's certainly controlling the ruck, isn't he, Ryan Main? Yeah, and long hand pass forward. Sees Sean Wilson, but he gets caught. Tried to fashion a hand pass out. Play allowed to go on as it's picked up at ground level. And now PINT looking to go inside 50 again. A long high kick down to the goal square. But I think there might be a free kick after disposal here as Miller got the kick in, and then the whistle played. Yeah. And this makes it pretty difficult for Palmerston now. They must get the next 2.
So it's Brad Ryan that will have the shot.
That's not your car alarm going off in the background, is it, Stu? Your brand new Mercedes that you've parked out
Oh,
there.
right. Yeah, that'll be nice. As Ryan, deliberate shot at goal, but bangs it into the left-hand goal post. And
from about 6 metres out, so he won't be happy about that. That's pretty hard to do, that hit the goal post. You haven't tried to do that. It's very difficult when you're trying to do it.
So the ball brought back into play, big leap from behind, but the mark's spilled, and now it's PINT again with a chance, but again the kick is offline from Jorgensen and just pushed it out to the right again. So a couple of let-offs for Palmerston early in this second quarter.
It looks lively, doesn't it, Jorgensen? Every time he goes near the ball, something happens. And I think he and Big Ryan Main, they've been the mainstays there, along with Chalmers. They're just making sure that things go the way they should.
So Cameron Nico there, you can see he's covered in mud, his bottom half at least, so be a bit uncomfortable for him, but the kick is chopped off by Shot again, who's just controlling the play in those middle areas of the ground, and now kicks inside 50 to the forward pocket. That's a beautifully directed kick, and the big fella Main again.
Good strong mark that time.
Yeah, that's right, got himself out in front, took it on the chest.
You don't want to be the player that goes into the half-time huddle with no mud on you, Stu. Your mates start looking at you, where have you been? What have you been playing? Big Ryan Main got a chance to put it at their 4th goal on the board here, and reward for effort for him. I think he's been good all around the ground, and that's the first time he's got a bit of clean footy, so good on him.
Yeah, you can see a big hands wrap the ball up there, so...
He's a giant man, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Kick on the way, it's going across the face and just off hands through for another behind. So after they opened up with 3 straight goals, since then they've scored 5 straight behinds.
Yeah, currently sitting 3-5-23 to Palmerston 1 point currently. So Palmerston a let off and a chance to get their first goal if they can get the ball forward past his half back line, but not looking too good with PINT spreading very well across the back line there, and turned the ball over, I think.
Cleverly picked up and flicked over the top by Bazine to Wharf as on the bounce Wareham is under pressure as he tries to avoid the Palmerston pressure coming, but got the hand pass out, and now Dale again just delivers out of defence and finds Ryan, who plays on quickly inside the corridor. He's got a teammate down there in Bates who gets the hand pass to Jorgensen, whose hand passes forward going to ground, but it's all Palmerston back there as they switch it across the ground into the middle, but the mark's spilt and that puts him under pressure again, but Tristan Wax there to lend a hand. His kick isn't the best either, and it's PINT that all over this one as the hand pass comes forward from Thompson, but another shot at goal and another miss.
Ryan Main again, yeah. Look, and Wareham, I think it was Wareham down there. He's got to learn to take a tackle. He's got to take the tackle. You can't just throw your hands wide and not take the ball, because that was an easy clearance by PINT with the 3 or 4 players running forward.
Oh, that looks like a bit of a wobbly kick, but Wolf got there and then got held in the tackle too long.
A bit lucky there, Wolf, but that.
I think he let the umpire know about it pretty well.
He knew he was in trouble. Tries to switch the play out to the far side wing here, where it's a little bit wetter, but long kick down there to number 22, who's got that pretty much on the string down there. He's got the ball well and truly in control.
So Klein's kick into the centre square as Palmerston again through the hands. Whack gets the hand pass back over the top, and this time it's Bazine who kicks long inside forward 50, but parking himself nicely behind the ball was Caden Malseed. Just get that one out, and he takes that intercept mark and just slows things down for PINT here as he just looks for an option.
Looking for an option out forward, and he's gone towards the far side wing again. Ball bounce clear and very well picked up that time by Hugh Smizer. Very good player around the pack, and kicks the ball beautifully forward.
So PINT hands on the ball, and Schwarzenberg under some pressure, got the kick forward, but now the ball spills out into some space. McCarthy's going to be there first for PINT. Gets the hand pass up to Harvey Cleary, who hand passes out wide to Brett. He's got a couple of Palmerston players in front of him, so chips back into the corridor. That was a pretty unrealistic attempt, I think, and that's going to, the way the umpire's seen, it's going to be a PINT free kick.
I think I would have called that one too, mate. It definitely was an unrealistic attempt. You can't jump like that.
So it's Jorgensen again with another possession inside 50 this time, but good defensive work from Dowsett. Just punched it away over the boundary line, and we'll get a boundary throw in inside forward 50 for PINT.
So the game with a bit of a stalemate here at the moment. You know, PINT are dominating around the ground, but they're not able to convert very well on the scoreboard, sitting at 3 goals, 6-24 to Palmerston 1 point.
Yeah, you just feel that it could break open PINT's way, don't you, if they can start getting some goals on the board. As from that hit out, it comes down to shot this time. He steadies with a kick towards goal, and once again pushed off to the right, and another behind. So 7 in a row now for PINT.
There's no wind down there, so it must be just the pressure, I assume. But they don't seem like they're under a great amount of pressure when they're kicking the ball forward. So
nicely intercept mark there by Miller. Miller chips the ball inboard, and he finds Shot once again, who kicks in short. That one's not his best effort, as Dale had to pick it up on the half volley and just managed to kick it straight up in the air. The hand pass comes back to Shot, who kicks forward on the left, but this time chopped off in defence by Jordan Klein for Palmerston. And
what can they do here, Palmerston? They're looking to switch the ball again. Gone right back to as far as they possibly can to that far back line. They're going to come back again inboard. No, they're going to keep going the way they were going.
So Dowsett's kick is good this time, but again, just a lack of concentration on the mark, and it's Spilt and PINT to pounce on the loose ball. It comes to Brett, who sweeps a hand pass into the corridor, comes back out now, a snapshot long towards goal, going right to the goal line. The kick was from Luke Moore, but Palmerston defenders back there just forced it through for another behind.
And Coach Mark Tyrrell will be pleased with the endeavour, but he'll be very disappointed with some of the things that are going on with the poor disposals and just dropping easy marks there. You've got to take the mark in front of you, not on your chest. It just bounces straight off.
So Palmerston chipping it around the last line of defence until eventually it comes out wide and over the boundary line before anyone can keep it in. So
I've seen Palmerston play a few times down here, and they always play that wing, so it must be their favourite wing to play. I think it's a little slimmer on that side, so a little skinnier, which allows you to come back in more very quickly if you get the ball down there.
So from the boundary throw in, hooked over the back by Coughlin this time, as PINT again swarm as the hand pass comes inboard. Comes back now to Jackson, who kicks long down towards the forward pocket, bouncing in front of Neil down there. And
what can they do here? They've had plenty of chances and plenty of looks at the goal in this quarter, but nothing on the scoreboard as yet apart from a couple of points. So they are doing all the things they should do. They're like little ants, green ants in fact, all over the place, but they're just not getting the results on the scoreboard.
McCarthy and Coughlin. Coughlin works McCarthy out of position, but didn't really get a hand on the ball as Palmerston again try to work it out through the hands, but again there's a ball handling error and it turns over, and now a shot towards goal from Brett. Goes across the face again and through for a behind again.
Not too much for the highlight really in this last few minutes. They're just having a bit of an arm wrestle down there. Both sides are struggling in the conditions by the looks of it, and even though it is actually not raining now, I think that ball is very slippery and very muddy.
Yeah, we can see the centre area particularly where it's obvious that it's pretty muddy, but Palmerston this time get a bit of space coming out of defence. The kick goes around the wing close to the boundary line. And
I think he handballed that 15 metres, and I just wonder why you wouldn't kick it. But anyway, perhaps it's a different approach.
Yeah, well, they worked some space, but again, they just couldn't hit the target coming out of defence, and this time over the boundary line, and we'll set up for another boundary throw in. 13 minutes ticking over in this second quarter. No goals scored so far in the quarter as it's punched away from behind, picked up by Wilson down there for PINT. Gets the kick inside forward 50. Everyone overruns it as it goes down towards the boundary line, and it trickles over, and it'll be another boundary throw in.
And you'll see the umpires wearing the orange caps to support the No More round. The Northern Territory Football League proudly sponsors the No More campaign. Very important message, no more domestic violence, and getting out there and doing some practical things, which is great to see.
So McCarthy in front, just taps it down in front of himself, but first there was Lewis for Palmerston, hooked it round the corner. That's a terrific mark taken under pressure by Elliot Chalmers for a pint, and he chips short again around that boundary line.
Clean with the footy there, isn't he, Chalmers? And that's the difference between the two sides, really. They're very clean going forward, Pint.
So again, point pass finds Wilson, who's looking to switch the ball into the corridor here, and he does well. Yep, finds Sean Jackson.
Jackson's a real chance here to, if he can get the. Oh no, he's looking for it to lay it off, and he's kicked it right into position. Unfortunately, just spilled the mark a little bit. It was a great run though, and a perfect opportunity. But here we go again, lining up for his fourth goal for the Tide, just offline again. So
yeah, Jorgensen again, another possession, but again offline. So they were 3-1 at quarter time, and now 3-10. So they've had plenty of opportunities, and Palmerston haven't really got it down to past half forward.
But you do get the feeling that they're about to break the game open, so Palmerston need to respond now, to say it very bluntly, to the scoreboard pressure that's being applied.
Oh, Mark almost taken that time, but again, Pint just getting numbers where the ball is as the tackle's laid on Schmetzer, swills clear, and now Palmerston inside 50 for the first time for a while, but
a huge opportunity to get it. Oh, he's got it this time.
Done well there as Hunter Lewis swings it round on the left towards the goal square, but good defensive work again by Mouseed, who came across and batted the ball over the behind line.
It was good defensive work, but once again the ball came in sort of skewed off the side of the boot. It wasn't actually a direct kick, and that's it's hard work as a forward if you don't get the ball, but put it in front of you somewhere at least.
So Chalmers to bring the ball back into play for Pint. Chooses to go to the
it's a big kick too.
Interchange side of the ground, as was a long way outside of 50, picked up by Wilson, who's getting plenty of the football for Pint. Gets it forward again, but spills out, and that's burrowing through as Bates got wrapped up in the tackle, and I think he might be penalised here. He just put his head down and tried to drive his way through, and Bonham made the tackle, but undoes his good work, and Pint turn it over, and Wilson gets another kick down towards half forward as Ryan just scoops it forward to the advantage of Brett. Brett kicks long on the left to the goal square, and this time Chris Neilds parked himself directly in front, and surely Neald will go back and kick the first goal for the quarter from here.
I'll bet all the presents under my tree that he'll get this one.
So just looked up at quarter time, and he was actually the first goal scorer in the game, so he's got 2 already, so this will be 3 out of 4 if he can convert from 20 metres out directly in front, and he can't.
There you go, I'll just drop those presents off this week. Well,
it's amazing. It's infectious, isn't it?
The yips.
Yeah, so that's 10 straight behinds for the quarter. Incredible stuff. You couldn't imagine it.
You could not imagine it, and you are watching the AFL-NT's coverage of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season here from Cazalys Arena here in Palmerston, and crowd pretty vocal, but they've got to be quiet now because Palmerston haven't been able to trouble the scorer with the goal. So if they do get one, I'll expect that crowd to come alive just in front of us here in the commentary stand.
So Bonham runs out of defensive goal square, kicks long around the wing, looking for Wharf. Bounced off his chest in the contest, but he's recovered well.
That's what they need to do, just kick the ball long and keep it running forward. Their short play's not working. Oh, that should be a free kick. It wasn't. Just keep the ball rolling, the havoc ball, really. Just keep it going in the right direction.
So this is a better looking build-up as the kick comes in, and Mark taken and looking to move it on quickly. They've got players in space here. Sean Wilson, one of them, and uncharacteristically spills that one, but the ball just slipped off the hand there as it's tried to be hand passed out of defence. Somerville in there couldn't pick it up, and it's toe poked out towards the boundary line. Some solid contact out there, but Pint running it out of defence, but again the hand pass misses the target, goes over the boundary line.
A shame for Sean Wilson, who was a double premiership player with the Nightcliff Tigers a few years ago, and he's there to help rebuild the side. You just need to make sure your key players are standing up when there is an opportunity to go forward. It happens to everybody, but yeah, he dropped what he should have taken there.
So we're about 70 metres out from the Palmerston goal as boundary thrown just fell a little bit short, and now good pressure again from Sean Wilson, but it'll be a ball up again.
Push on the loose, Deckers, push on the loose.
Just can't see much changing in the game. There doesn't seem to be any change in game plan. They're just both battling it out by running around, chasing each other around here.
So Wilson with another clearing kick for PINT, gets it down towards the wing. Cleverly done by McCarthy. Got the hand pass out wide to Ryan. And yeah, now Jorgensen, if he can pick it up, he does now. There's no one in front of him as he dribbles one towards goal. It's going all the way, but
just touched on the line.
Yeah, didn't have enough power on it, and Selwood got back, got a hand to the ball, and forced another behind for PINT as they look to bring the ball back in quickly to the outer side of the ground.
The young forward there for PINT should have shepherded that through.
So Wolf on that outer side of the ground again, looking to switch back into the corridor. It's a dangerous area, but the kick's good.
He's got good skills, Ryan Wolf. He's done that a couple of times now.
So Wilson's kick finds Lampton. He hand passes backwards to give them the chance to go forward out of defence. They come down just in from the wing there.
Get your body behind it, mate.
There's a long kick down towards half forward now, and a mark in the contest is taken by Lewis this time. Inside 50 for Palmerston. He thought about playing on, had a player running loose, but I think the wise thing to do with the scoreboard looking like this and that close to half-time, as the siren goes, he'll have a kick after the siren. There was a kick after the siren in the first quarter, of course. But
just 19 years old, so he will know that this is a real chance to get them back within, they'll be within, 3 goals or so, rather than going to the break with nothing on the board at all, apart from 2 points.
So Hunter Lewis, kick on the way, he's celebrating as soon as he's kicked it. It's gone straight through the middle. So incredibly, Palmerston have kicked the only goal for the quarter, and it's come after the siren of half-time.
And it leaves them just 3 goals really behind the play, which it's not that wet out there, so it's probably not a bad position to be in. You'd rather be a couple closer, but gee, it was an important goal for them, wasn't it? They just had to make sure they got that one through. PINT's players, the best players at the moment, I've got Jorgensen and Ryan Main in there, Chalmers, Wilson and Shelton. Of course, Palmerston, I think Sean Wilson, Selwood, Ryan Wolf and Wack I had in there have kept him in the game. But an interesting point of the game, I think just right now you would still have your money on PINT, but they sort of got it back in within 22 points.
Yeah, well, they got that goal, and that just keeps them within striking distance, really. As you say, 22 points isn't a huge margin, even though it's very low scoring. But
15 scoring shots to 3, and they've only got a 22-point lead. They've been their own worst enemy there. Bad kicking is bad footy, as they say. So if they can sort that out in the second half, PINT, they will run them over this quite easily. But we're just about to go to break, so we'll be back from Cazalys Stadium straight after this half-time break.
Are the leaders on the field?
We lead off the field by saying no to violence.
Being a good role model starts with how we treat others.
How we show them respect.
Being strong is about standing up for what's right.
True strength is using your voice
to support those that need it most.
Our strength as a team is in how we support each other.
Let's do the same for our community.
Let's all show the next generation how to treat each other right.
Let's be the role model for change that kids deserve.
We protect our mates by speaking up against violence. Our voices matter.
Our voices matter.
Our voices matter.
Our voices matter. Our voices matter.
So let's speak up and show our community that violence has no place in our lives.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Cazalys Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Cazalys Palmerston Club, making a difference.
south fucking over, but. Come on, Magpies!
Welcome back to the AFL-NT's coverage of the 224-225 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League in Darwin on Larrakia country. The twilight clash here between Palmerston and PINT at Cazalys Arena. Pretty interesting first half. It did allow Palmerston getting that last goal, allows them to stay right back in this match. So there's only a 22-point lead, which is nothing in the modern day football, Stu.
No, that's right. They've given themselves a chance at least, haven't they? And you know, Mark Tyrrell, the Palmerston coach, wouldn't be completely upset with what's happened. They've had had a fair bit of football. Their defensive work has been pretty good, but they just need to be a bit better with their skills and a bit cleaner and better use of the footy as they go forward to give themselves a chance to score some more. But having said that, of course, Pint had plenty of opportunities in that second quarter and scored no goals and 11 straight behinds, which is just incredible.
I think the coach would be more upset about that than what Mark Tyrrell would be. So Coach Mark Wiley would be very upset with the fact that they had 15 scoring shots for the game so far and have only hit 30 points, which is a pretty poor return, and it has allowed the opposition to get back in there. And I thought Ryan Wolf for Palmerston was very, very clean with the football in that back line and seemed to take a lot of possessions and use the ball pretty well overall. Yeah,
he seems to camp himself over on that outer side, doesn't he, on the wing half-back area, and there's always a release target coming out, and as you say, he does use the ball well. Of course, a junior that came up through the ranks of Palmerston is now vice-captain of the club, and he's an important player for them. And that's the story that the clubs are always looking to develop. I know Nightcliff this week included Brandon Parfitt back in the side, who was a junior for Nightcliff at age 16, was recruited by and drafted by the mighty Geelong Cats down there in Victoria, and actually played in the 2022 grand final, I think it was. And he's back up here now plying his trade again in the NTFL. I see Brandon's actually been picked up by WA West Perth side also, but fantastic to see those young players coming back and developing through the ranks and becoming good quality NTFL players. Yeah, that's right, and we do get terrific support from all of the players that go down and make it down south, and they're always keen to come back and help their junior clubs, and always thankful for what their junior clubs did for them. So it's terrific that Brandon's back, and as we've seen with a number of other players in the past that come back and want to contribute back to Northern Territory Football League. And I think he was in their best players today, just in difficult conditions. It rained just about the whole game out there, but he was instrumental in the big win, which they end up winning by over 60 points, which is a great result for the Nightcliff Tigers going into the break. Yeah, that's right. Just one more round after this week, of course, before the Christmas break, and a very interesting stage of the season as the teams jockey for positions. Ideally, teams will be aiming to make the top three to give themselves the best chance finals times, the ones that are in the hunt. But definitely, and this weekend the Northern Territory Football League proudly supports the No More campaign. No More round is a powerful reminder that No More is not just a slogan, it's a movement. As part of AFL Northern Territory's long-standing partnership with No More campaign, our players and officials are committed to raising awareness and promoting respect in our community. For more information about the No More campaign, head to nomore.org.au and you'll see the umpires wearing the orange caps and the orange socks in support of that, and players all wearing the orange armbands in support of the No More campaign. Charlie King and the team down there. Yeah, that's right. Fantastic work, and obviously there's plenty of work to be done in that area, and can't get enough, so everyone needs to get behind it and support it and do the right things. But we're about to get underway again here, and be just interesting to see how both sides come out and tackle this second half, I'm sure that Pint will be looking to capitalise a bit better than they did in the first.
Definitely, and Jorgensen, Ryan, Main, Chalmers, Dale, all the big stars, Schultz and Wilson for them were very, very, the Wilson for Pint were very strong, but just couldn't capitalise on 10 straight points in that the second quarter.
So we're back underway as ball comes to ground in the middle of the ground. Bonham gets his hands on the ball, gets it kicked high up in the air. Don't know if that's travel enough to be paid a mark, but no one took it anyways. Nico gets the hand pass forward, and Palmerston first to go forward again across to half forward. That's a well-directed kick, and now Somerville kicks inside forward 50 off hands. The ball spills there to Lewis, who kicked that goal after the half-time siren, kicks it high to the goal square. Ryan Wharf came flying in. Tristan Wack at ground level, throws it on the left boot, kicks towards goal, but
just a little bit short. Just got the hand in there, but much better play going forward that time. Palmerston more direct.
So Pint quickly bring the ball into play.
What can Pint do here? He's trying to hand the ball off.
Yeah, Chalmers kept running from the kick in and then just couldn't control it, and it's gone over the boundary line as he has some words with Matty Payne out there, but it's all.
I think Matty Payne was just letting him know that it was a pretty poor passage of play.
That's right. No damage done, and the ball's thrown back into play now as McCarthy wins the hit out again for Pint, but again there's pressure around the ball carrier, but there's going to be a free kick for a high tackle here.
It was there, but gee, it was staged well.
So it's Hunter Lewis again, who'd go back with confidence after kicking that goal after half-time.
Makes it very interesting if he gets this one, Stu. He's well within range, and that would put them back within the 3-goal range, which would be a great result for them.
So, taking plenty of time, but obviously he's confident that
he's got good approach to the ball. Big kick.
Not quite there. Push that one across. It's going to fall short across the goal square as Pint just scramble the kick out of defence, and now another good strong tackle as the ball's locked in.
Is that Ryan Wolf again, is it? Can't quite pick it up on the bottom of the pack, but it was a fantastic effort and a good tackle to stop the ball running out.
Yeah, I think it might have been Ricky Walsh, but McCarthy wins the hit out. It's close to the boundary line, and it'll be a boundary throw in inside 50 for Palmerston, who've for the first 2.5 minutes have had the ball camped in their forward half.
And they're up on their toes at the moment, so they're looking to try and push the advantage here. They would have taken a lot of confidence out of that last kick just on the siren.
So, yeah, boundary throw fell a bit short, and that's caused a bit of a scramble at ground level. The rucks were a long way back, and
I imagine the message from Mark Tyrrell, coach of the Palmerston Magpies, would have been, look, we're right in this game, boys. You know, they mucked it up, and they only kicked 10 points, which has given us a real chance to get back in this game. They are beatable, and I imagine that would be the message that he's taken to his players as they go out there again.
So at ground level, just lowering the knees again, Lewis that time, but he's penalised this time, and it'll be a Pint free kick deep in defence.
Of course, the opposite to that with Mark Wiley would have been, look, we've had the ball on a string, we've had 15 scoring shots, we've just got to get that going a little bit straight, and we'll run away with this. So it's interesting. I think neither side have been able to open the game up though at this stage.
So Brad Ryan kicks around the wing, ball that slips over the back, gives Brett the chance. He kicks over the top and allows his teammate to run onto it. It's Neald who swings around onto the left boot, swings it back towards goal. It's bouncing close to the goal line, and
guess what?
Again, good defensive work, and they force it through for another behind.
11 straight. Was good defence that time though from Palmerston. They weren't. They didn't have the ball their own way that time, and good strong defence keeps them in the game.
So Nico
very short.
Yep, back into play to Sean Wilson. He looks to give the hand pass, does eventually, and now Nico's got 4 Pint players around him, 5 in fact. Got the hand pass out, and now on the counter there's a chance as it comes to Brett, but he kicks towards goal, and unbelievably he has missed once again from about 15 metres out.
And I think the Palmerston Palmy Army are telling them all about it down there
That's right.
on the broadcast wing.
So this time, Palmerston go town side of the ground as PINT work it back through Wilson, kicks in towards centre half forward, and Brad Ryan out on the long lead takes a nice mark on the chest.
Just a
well-weighted
perfect kick too.
wasn't it?
Yeah, just put it right in front of him. Very short this time, just makes the shortest fella on the field.
Yeah, Jorgensen.
And he copped one across the back of the neck, I think, in that little contest, an accidental one, but he's feeling every bit of that, so he's going to have a look. He's going to be probably just beyond his distance, I would think here. He's going to look for a layoff, but it looks like he's going to have a shot on goal.
So Sean Wilson on the mark. He's about 40 metres from goal as Jorgensen comes in now. Kick on the way. Looks like this one's squirted off to the right as well. And
he was just going for some extra distance, so yep. That's why it's squirted to the right. But just that's right on his distance, I would think there. So there maybe should have been someone trying to offer a lead. I couldn't see one on the screen there.
Well, Palmerston worked back pretty well defensively and clogged the holes as Nico brings it into play. It's very close to the boundary line. It's kept in by Wharf, and he goes back himself but couldn't get his hands on it. Wilson gets a hand pass forward to Josh McCarthy, as was off balance when he kicked and just slid off the boot out of bounds on the field.
Palmerston to go forward again now, and they're looking to use that right wing again, the right hand side of screen, but they'll have to go back down the left because there's nowhere to go. And he's lost the ball, unfortunately. So good pressure from the PINT attackers with the midfielder coming in pushing very hard. Looks like they're on track to have another shot on goal, but getting the ball out of the back line again was Nate Dowsett.
Yes,
he just pushed the ball forward, and it's got the outside runner there with Matty Payne, who's running very, very well down towards the ground there, across that middle bit where it's nice and muddy, but they've sort of avoided that if they can, as the players run the ball out wide, and the PINT turn it back again to look for another chance on goal, and in the clear this time. So he's got a big run on goal. There's a big chance here with ball right in front of goal here.
Brad Ryan takes a mark just outside forward 50, swings around on the right boot, now kicks long towards the top of the goal square. Off hands, it's Palmerston again, pretty well organised in defence, and the hand pass comes out to Wharf, who's got
They are well organised in defence, but once again it was a poor kick forward, poor choice of the direction. They just need to put the ball to the advantage of the forwards.
So
buried him, yeah.
Strong work there, yeah, as Barnett got wrapped up in there, and
I think just what happens is when it slows players that are used to just running straight forward and bouncing along. They slow down in this sort of conditions, and they still get turned around, and all of a sudden they've got a tackle on them.
So from the stoppage, Tristan Wack does well to avoid the contact and then kicks long around the wing.
Good kick from Wack that time, and that's what they've got to do, but it's a free kick being paid here to PINT in defence.
Yep, Fraser Dale it is, just got one in the back in that contest, and he's looking to go short here to Wilson, who's made space. He switches the ball across the centre of the ground where he's got a free player in Thompson, Joseph Thompson.
PINT's had 4 shots or 3 shots, scoring shots on goal. Should really be breaking this game right open now.
So again, the forward pressure from PINT sees them work it back towards half forward. The quick kick out into the pocket is well directed, and the mark taken out wide.
That's a quality kick then, very well done. And he's looked for a short one and straighten him up a little bit.
Yeah, so it was Ryan who kicked it out to Brett, and Brett kicked it back to Ryan, who's a little bit closer to goal. And
this is the one that's troubled him, the actual shot on goal here from 30-40 out, so let's see how he goes here.
Yeah, that's
stretching
right.
out there.
He'll be kicking from just about on 50 out there by the looks, and Brett Ryan. A long kick, it's going to fall short, and Tristan Wack used his body well and positioned himself nicely to take that mark on the chest, and then
out-bustled Ryan Main, which is not easy to do.
Yeah, that's right. So it's close to the boundary line as Ryan Wharf kicks it around the boundary line. Nico does really well to advance it, and just got one high as he batted it forward, so it'll be his free kick. He'll come back and take that.
And I haven't minded his game either, Nico. He's been good around the ground.
Yeah, that's right. It's had plenty of the football. Had a bit of a wash at half-time, got some of the mud off by the looks, and drills the passing, but again just slips through the hands of Wack that time and puts them under pressure as the PINT players close in again, and now just trying to bat it forward. McCarthy gets a high kick down towards half forward, but good defensive work again. Sees the ball forced over the boundary line for another throw-in.
And Wack just needs to learn to soften the hands a bit when he's running towards the ball and the ball's coming into him, and he'll be fine.
So 10 minutes gone, third quarter. No goals on the board so far, as Wilson read it nicely off hands from that ruck contest, kicks the ball towards the goal square, but Palmerston again with a sweeping hand pass, and then another one out of defence as ducking back in was Catapoulis, who kicks long into the centre of the ground. Good defensive work from Mouseed, got a fist in there, and now the quick kick forward, and the mark taken by Chalmers just forward of centre as he kicks along. He's got a player out wide, that's Chris Neild, who's made some space for himself, and the kick was perfect out in front of him, and he
well weighted,
took it on the checks. Yep, that's right. No chance for the defenders to close on that one, and Chris Neild not looking confidently towards goal. He's looking around for something to give off to, still looking. But he does have 2 of their 3 goals in the game in the first quarter.
You want to see your forwards kicking for goals in these positions, not looking to lay them off.
So kick on the way.
It's way offside.
Yeah, stays in the field of play, close to the boundary line there. There's a bit of a scrum at ground level as Ryan Wharf looks to run away with the ball, but the whistle had already gone, and it's going to be a ball up about 15 metres around from the PINT goal, close to the boundary line here, as Big Coughlin got up there. The ball squirts out the back to Wharf, who throws it on the left boot. And
kick and hope, really, wasn't it? But it seems to have come off, I think.
No, Barnett running, just making front-on contact in the marking contest there. So
Barnett's got nowhere to go. His eyes are darting all over the place. He's found nothing. Actually, he's kicked it straight over, turned it straight over.
So Klein gives it off to Sean Wilson running from behind, and he drills the ball long down the centre of the ground, out into some space out the back. If the Palmerston runners can get there,
3 on 1 here, so
they've done pretty well. The hand pass just misses the target. Somerville's in there again, loses his footing as working in underneath was Campbell. He got bundled out of the way, and PINT again strong in defence, just work it out, and the mark taken out on the wing, and they just slow things down.
What can they do here? They're just looking for another avenue towards goal. They're looking for other opportunities, because what they're doing is not working, obviously, so they need to find another way to bring the ball in, maybe change the angle up, try and get them a little bit closer when they're having to kick on goal. But yeah, they've just there's been no goals in this quarter, so it's not been a great exhibition of NTFL football at this stage, but there's still plenty of fight left in both these sides, and very close on the scoreboard, only 24 points. Yep. Yeah.
So the boundary throw in, Coughlin from behind, Main in front. Main kicks off the ground, but I think that's ricocheted off the Palmerston player.
He's such a big man. He just, if he goes forward, he can't turn. He's got to run in straight lines. He's not going to be able to move around very quickly to the sides. It's like a great big tanker.
So the throw, that's
pushed out,
pushing it back, I think, yeah. And it's Big Main who will take the free kick just outside forward 50 for PINT.
Bouncing around foot to foot, and he's looking for an opportunity. He's put the ball way out of the ground. Just slow it down a little bit and just take that extra second or two and look where you're kicking. That would be my advice to these fellas. They just seem to be, everything seems to be on the hurry.
So Dowsett brings it back in for Palmerston.
Dowsett's kicked it to 4 PINT players and 1 Palmy, but it's going to work out for him this time.
It's fallen into the hands of Wack, who kicks and he's got a player out in some space. And
now they're out here, Palmerston, so if they can just get the ball past this centre half forward, which looks like they're going to, they're a chance to run into goal.
In the goal square, and I think he's kicked it. He has.
Good run.
Yeah, Michael Bazine it was that time. Just got his hand, ball to the boot really quickly in the goal square there, but as you say, Dodgy moved it in long and quickly and caught the PINT defence out of position, and then the forward pressure came in and a terrific finish from Bazoon.
And that's the only way they're going to get goals, really, is to kick it long and hard and hope for the over-the-back run and just keep the runners moving forward, because Pint is so very good at setting up behind the ball. They just control that back line so well. So a great run on ball and a great goal from Bazoon. Well done. So that puts the scores at, with Pint sitting at 3 goals 15, 33 to Palmerston 2 goals 3, 15, right back in this game.
Yeah, that's right. They've scored the last 2 goals of the game and really given themselves a chance here as we tick up to 15 minutes into this third quarter at Cazalys Arena.
Next goal is a really vital one for either side, because either Palmerston are going to get back in the game or Pint are going to stem the flow. But as you say, they kicked the last 2 goals and haven't been able to score one back, Pint. So as Big Ryan's got the free kick here, and he's looking to push the ball out to the side. Beautiful kick. Puts it right in front of his running player there.
Another kick on the lead to Brett. Just couldn't control the ball, and hand pass comes out to Nico, who kicks long on the left out of defence for Palmerston around that wing on the city side of the ground as the hand pass comes over the top. But Pint trying to work it out. Eventually it falls to Sean Wilson, who gives off nicely to Payne. Payne swings around out of the tackle. Gets
playing well here, Palmerston. They're going very well.
And Ricky Walsh
football.
Kicks it forward, but he's put that in between 2 of his
That's
teammates.
all right, though. They've got to set up behind the ball again, Palmerston, just make sure they don't get the easy out exit. Looks like they have, though. Oh, no, he's dropped it. Dropped the mark.
But enough numbers there. So he's caught with the ball. He's going to be penalised there. Didn't get a hand pass to it, so a good tackle.
It was vital that Palmerston didn't allow that easy exit, because this is their chance to set it straight up, but they just turned the ball straight over.
Yeah, again, just misdirected kick and Pint swing it out wide. A good tackle. And Sean Wilson it was again involved, but Pint have got some support there as it's Maloney who kicks the ball inside forward 50. The Palmerston defence close on it again, but Pint first hands on it as McCarthy gets it across. Surely a goal this time, running into the open goal, and it is. And this time it's Luke Moore who's finally put another goal on the board for Pint at the 16.5-minute mark of the third quarter.
Their first goal since the second quarter, and to say it was needed would be an understatement, Stu, but that just steadies the flow a little bit for Pint, who for all intents and purposes had control of the game pretty much, but because of their being wayward kicking, it's allowed Palmerston to get back within a couple of goals, and it's it's stretched that lead out again now to 24 points again. So that's a pretty good lead. If they can just keep doing what they're doing, Pint they'll run away with it. But I also think I've liked the game of Palmerston, the way Palmerston's gone about it in this second half so far.
Yeah, the disappointing thing there for Palmerston was they had a couple of forward entries where they had chances, but just poor kicking picked out the Pint defenders, and they turned it over and eventually got a goal on the board.
It's going to happen with young sides. They are very young sides, as we've mentioned, but they just need to keep at it and keep listening to what the coach is telling you, and the players out there, the leadership group in Shawnee Wilson and Joel Selwood and those players, just to make sure that they keep things going the right way.
So Dowsett out of defence, gets a long kick, gets it over the top of Payne, gives him the chance to run onto it. Now he does, but he's under some pressure. That's a good tackle on the jumper. Got a hand pass forward and then came back again, forced it forward again himself, and going well. Still forcing it forward. As
of course it ball.
I think he might have been tackled without it. It's going to go the other way, in fact. Which is,
really? Interesting call.
Yeah, it is. It's Pemble with a free kick out there, and he chips it in short out wide to Dale.
And with Mark Dodge and Stu Davies out here watching the AFL NT's coverage of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season from Cazalys Arena here in Palmerston.
So Wilson for Pint, kicks inside the centre square, but just gets over the top, and Ryan Wolf pounces on it and now runs and kicks long inside forward 50. It's a long kick. It's going out towards the boundary line, and Hunter Lewis there just showing a bit of disappointment. Thought he might have had a chance to have it delivered to him, but Wolf went the long option, but
and he probably should have had that, because he's been the key player down that forward line. And I think if they can convert here, it gives them a real chance getting close to three-quarter time.
So Coughlin and Main doing the ruck with Main in front, gets his hand to the ball. But there's plenty of players around the pack, and no one able to break free at this stage. Umpire's letting it go. And looks like a rugby scrum in there, doesn't it? And eventually the whistle blows and we'll have a stoppage.
The game has been a bit like a rugby game, hasn't it, all the way through here? And it's I think the umpires are just trying to see what happens and let the players sort it out, which is not a bad approach. I think it's pretty good.
So quick kick out of defence by Malseed down the middle of the ground.
Almost catches the runner out, or the water boy.
Fox couldn't hold the mark as it spilled out front and slides in.
Dangerous tackle.
Play on's the call as, again, as stacks on, and it'll be a ball up in the middle of the ground.
I think the umpire was blindsided because he was definitely, his legs were taken out, and that's a no-no in today's football.
So Main wins the hit out down, but Sean Wilson read it nicely, got the quick kick down towards half forward.
And Shawnee Wilson's just plying his trade across that the midfield and just doing a really good job down there.
So kick out wide. It's a chance here for Schmetzer, gets it inboard, but Palmerston again working hard at ground level in the middle of the ground, but PINT get it down towards half forward. There's a chance here, is almost picked up on the half volley, but again a terrific tackle at ground level, wraps Sam Bates up, and it'll be a ball up this time inside forward 50 for PINT.
And it'll be one of those frustrating games for PINT. The guy saying, you know, we had plenty of opportunities to break that game open early doors and we just weren't able to do it because they're just hanging in there at Palmerston, and every time they've got the ball they're being tackled hard because of the conditions. They're obviously being able to catch them a bit quicker, but all power to Palmerston, who've just held him up pretty well and kept themselves in this game very well and truly.
So again, they've worked it out of defence.
Kicked it beautifully out of there too, hasn't he?
Yeah, just got it out in space where Bazine's going to be first there. Just taps it to his own advantage, tries to get around now, gets tackled, has to throw it on the boot, and gets about a 2-metre kick away. But
Wolf got him again.
Yeah, they're coming in, putting the pressure on, and so much so that Jackson couldn't control the ball at ground level, and it's rolled out for a boundary throw-in.
Bazine and Wolf doing very, very well in this quarter for both with different types of players, but both hard at the footy.
So we're into time on in the third quarter here. Just the 1 goal apiece so far as Sean Wilson gets a kick as he's tackled, and it spills out now. It's a chance at ground level, and it just didn't bodyline the ball, and that allowed PINT to close on it as the kick goes out wide, but again, too wide from Schwarzenberg, and goes over the boundary line on the full.
As you call it, Stu, the number one thing you learn as a junior football, put your body behind the ball and make sure it doesn't get through you.
Yeah.
That was a siren, I think.
That is the siren. So at three-quarter time, what happened there? Where Palmerston scored 1 goal 1 and PINT scored 1 goal 3. So not much in it, and both sides still with a chance going into the last quarter, Dodgy.
And I reckon they have, and I think Palmerston will be fairly happy that they were able to match it with them in that quarter, because all you can do when you're getting beaten is to try and win that quarter and try the man-on-man, and just try and beat your player one-on-one. And I think the other thing that Palmerston did very well was they kept stretching the PINT defence by kicking over the top, rather than continuing to go short and try and run it. It won't work. They're too good behind the ball, and I thought Nico and Bazine and Wilson were stars in that quarter, because big Ryan Main going on with doing what he's doing, and Chalmers and Jorgensen and Wilson for PINT as well. They're doing a great job out there. So an interesting game of football. I think it's pretty much a bit of a landlock, but we'll be back at TIO Stadium, sorry, at Cazalys Stadium TIO NTFL season straight after this break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Cazalys Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro, or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge, or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Cazalys Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to the AFL NT's coverage of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League in Darwin on Larrakia country. The twilight clash here between Palmerston at Cazalys Arena and the PINT and the Palmerston Magpies PINT Football Club. My name's Mark Dodge and I'm joined once again by Stu Davies. How did you see that quarter, Stu?
Well, we've got the close one at least, Mark, haven't we? So it's, yeah, there's been some of the goal kickings left a lot bit to be desired, but it's resulted in a close contest and one where Palmerston have just hung in really and give themselves a chance in the last quarter. But I guess since quarter time you've got the impression that if PINT could string a couple of together they could blow it open, but Palmerston just keep hanging in. We were just saying at the break, you know, they kicked 3 goals, 1 and we were looking really strong, and now the score line's at 4-15, so they have had a bit of a problem going forward. Yeah, that's right. So they'll be keen to get first clearance here, both sides, to get the advantage early. But we've got a false start there, and we'll have a restart with a throw up as McCarthy and Wareham do battle. Wareham tries to juggle it to his own advantage, but it's forced out of his hands eventually, as picked up in there by Walsh. And
it's interesting that they keep playing Wareham in the ruck when I thought Ryan Main was the strong ruckman, but I guess he's got to have a break sometime, but he doesn't look like he's on the field. He's off somewhere.
Yeah, they
generally rest your
playing
ruckman
forward a bit, but anyway, it's gone forward, and Chris Neild out on the lead has taken the mark.
And we'd normally say this is a pretty good chance on goal, but who knows? You'd say so. He's going to be kicking from 40.
Yeah.
No angle to speak of, and no wind and no rain.
That's right. See the trees in the background dead still, and Neild now on that left boot comes in. This looks a better kick as Calm swings just inside that goalpost, and
nice kick off the boot. Beautifully done.
His teammates get around to celebrate. So that's the start that PINT were looking for that they haven't been able to have in the last couple of quarters. So
and did the big left foot aim for the right goalpost. It's always going to go left, and did it beautifully. And I guess that's what you call a just reward for PINT's domination going forward. 20 times versus 5 times in scoring shots, and they currently lead by 30 points. So that's a big break. We're sitting at 5 goals, 15-45 to Palmerston Magpies 2 goals, 3-15. Magpies just have to be careful here. Doesn't blow out to a massive loss, so they just got to make sure they keep doing what they do well and keep running at the ball and kicking the ball long.
So McCarthy with his hand to the ball, and PINT another clearance through Wilson, who's had plenty of it through the middle of the ground today. He taps it out to the advantage of Jorgensen, who just gets it out into some space, and Palmerston defence under pressure again as the hand pass just goes into a contest area, and PINT get the numbers there, but Palmerston defenders swarm in again and force another stoppage.
And they're not giving it up, Palmerston. They're great endeavour for this young side, and they're building something for the future, and it's really pleasing to see they just keep at their game.
So Nico out of defence again, this time switching across the ground out in front of Tristan Wack, gives him a chance to run onto it, but he's under some pressure from behind from Maloney.
That's a hard run at this end of the game. When you're that size, those hamstrings will be aching every step he took. So, but he did well, and he kept the ball in control, and he's just running forward again now. So
yeah, that's right, and probably made 30 or 40 metres around the outer side of the ground there. So
they're hugely fit, these fellas these days, aren't they? They just train, and the anaerobic rates, or the aerobic rates, I should say, are very, very strong for these sides. You don't see too many unfit fellas playing in PFL now.
No, that's right. As the ball spills forward, it's just tacked forward. Bazine comes in, couldn't get his hands on it before it was knocked away, and PINT again using it through the hands. Wilson again switches back into the middle of the ground in the contest there. The ball's just knocked away from Schwarzenberger's.
Schwarzenberger's appealing for the kick, but it's going the other way.
Yeah, it's come to Chalmers, who chips out wide and
just keeps doing it. Chalmers, doesn't he? He's always there.
Fine shot. He's
been a bit quiet.
Yeah, since the first quarter probably, but now the hand pass comes across into space. Oh, 2 PINT players collide there, sliding in for the ball. And
I think I've backed Ryan Main in that situation. He will be the other guy.
But again, the hand pass just missing the target allows PINT to close in on it as Chalmers Gets it out here.
He was wide. He didn't see him. He was wide open in the forward line, just sitting there with his hands in the air. I think that was Jorgensen. But anyway, it's a shot on goal, and that's what they need. They need to put this side away now if they're going to trouble any of the finals contenders. This is Chris Neal, obviously.
Brad Ryan.
Brad Ryan.
Yep.
That was Neal that was leading forward, yeah.
Yep, so yeah, just went the shorter option, and Ryan a bit further out from goal, but he'll have the set shot. Hasn't got a goal on the board so far tonight, but kick on the way now, and looks like they've straightened things up a bit in this last quarter. That's
what a great kick.
It's 2 from 2 attempts in this quarter, so yeah, a very nice set shot kick, and just starting to get their mojo now as far as goal kicking is concerned, and that margin's blown out to 6 goals, so all of a sudden Palmerston under plenty of pressure.
PINT flexing their muscles there, and that kick was about 60 out when he actually kicked the ball, so it was a great kick on goal, and absolutely no problem at all in slotting that forward. Didn't even deviate above the goal umpire's head, so nice and straight. And that's the sort of thing you want to do when you come out, 5 minutes in the third quarter. You kick 12 points in the second quarter. You want to make sure that you kick 12 points in the third quarter. You want to make sure that you turn that round and show the public, the football public, and your supporters what sort of side you're going to be.
So back in the middle again. Wareham just gets a fingertip to it, but Sean Wilson scoops it up, and then a couple of steps and kicks long inside 50, diving forward. The mark not quite taken by Lewis there and spilt forward. There's a free kick here. I think it's going to be a Palmerston free kick.
And you can see why Sean Wilson's been such a good player over the years. He kicks the ball forward. Now, sometimes he hasn't got the skills, the players haven't got the skills to mark what he puts forward, but he's always putting the ball forward, always putting the ball into the right position. This time it's going to be a shot on goal, and the big fella there in Tristan Wack is going to make sure that he has another shot, and just to keep their score looking a little bit more respectable. 6 minutes in, so they've still got plenty of time.
Tristan Wack runs around now, opens up, kicks long towards goal, but that's drifted out to the right and through for behind. So first score of the quarter for Palmerston. Here's a behind, and PINT just set up again from deep in defence.
Excuse me, PINT will be very keen to make sure that they can make a statement here and run away with this game.
Yeah, well, they've run the ball nicely out of defence here as Chalmers kicks long down towards half forward, through the hands again, and Ryan pounces on that. Drills a pass inside forward 50. It's a great pass.
And that's what they weren't doing in the third quarter, Stu. They were not putting the passes out like that. That was just a fantastic bullet pass, which makes it really easy for your forward to mark it, and that's how the sort of kick they want coming into them.
Yeah, that was right from the defensive goal square around that outer wing, and
coast to
Chris
coast.
Neal got up on the end of it, and he's got another set shot for goal. He's got 1 in this quarter already, 2 in the first quarter, so a chance to increase his tally for the year. Just a bit of a stuttering run up, kicks towards goal, but just missed to the right hand side this time. So we're 7.5 minutes in to this final quarter. PINT have kicked the only 2 goals of the quarter so far, and Sean Wilson's everywhere. Goes back and retrieves the ball.
I thought he was going to jump the fence then and get the ball, Sean. He does everything, doesn't he? But now Palmerston are sucking in the big ones now, obviously, because it's such a hot night, and they've run a lot. But they're going to have to keep doing it, otherwise they're going to get blown away here. So they just need to keep doing what they do, otherwise it could be a very unattractive scoreline.
So Barnett takes that mark and now kicks long towards half forward, working his way to the front was Lewis, couldn't control it, but now he's got it at ground level. He's got a bit of space and kicks on the left, kicks towards goal, into the goal square, great kick, and goal, yeah, so that's a great finish, and it was the big fella Lockie Wareham, he got on the end of it, but again it was quick decisive ball movement that gave them the opportunity, didn't give PINT again the chance to set up behind the play, which they're so good at doing on the slow plays.
Yeah, they're the same as the top sides out there with the ability to set up behind the ball. So St Mary's, Districts, Nightcliff, all very good at setting up behind the play. So if you're a side that's still building, you need to be able to kick that ball forward, run hard, And you just never know what's going to happen, as they call it, the havoc ball. We push it forward, goes over the back. TIO have done that many years in their big wins. So it works for sides, and that's just what they've got to keep doing. And I know Mark Tyrrell will know that. He's a very experienced coach, been around football for a long time. Good, solid backman, obviously a mean backman, they used to say he was, playing at Palmerston in the day. But he's also very good at making sure that, you know, you play to your strengths, and that's probably the best thing they can do, is keep doing that.
So from the restart, it was pretty easy for PINT as Schwarzenberg gets the clearance and gets it down to half forward, swinging around on the left as Brett kicks, finds a player in space, but it's just spilled off the chest of Neil this time. But he comes back in, puts the pressure on now, gets it at ground level, gets a hand pass out. Oh, the snapshot at goal around the corner from Jorgensen.
Neil's done that a couple of times too tonight. He's dropped Tress marks, and I think he's just spinning it before he gets it. You know, he's looking for that other option, and you can't blame him for doing that. It's you just got to slow it down a bit, especially when you're 60 points up. It doesn't, you know, you've got time to do things like that.
So again, Barnett takes the mark on the release out of defence and wheels around, kicks long towards half forward. They work it over the top. Ryan Wolf's going to run into this one now. He's got some space at half forward on the left. He kicks long towards goal, gets it over the top. It's going into the goal square. But
almost again, the run forward, kicking the ball long, the quick transition, as you called before. It's the only way they're going to get. In fact, it's not a 60-point lead. It's only a 40-point lead. So, and that's because they've been able to kick those little goals. That makes the Palmy Army pretty happy down there on our broadcast side here.
Yeah, it's good to hear them vocal again. They had a couple of seasons where we didn't hear much out of them, but they're back at the footy, and it's great to hear.
Getting Mark Tyrrell back there was a big event for them. They were pleased to see one of their own come back, who's got great football credentials as a coach as well. So, coached at Tracy Village, did a year at Nightcliff as well, and a terrific fella too. Good place to have around the club.
Coached in Catherine, of course, premierships in Catherine, and premiership captain for Palmerston in the early 2000s. But ball in the middle of the ground now. Chalmers just trying to get control, gets a hand pass forward. That's
massively high.
It's a hard tackle. So
and dangerous too. It wasn't meant. The arm slipped up because of the wet jumper, but gee, it's you feel for players' heads, don't you, the next time that happens to them.
So kick down towards half forward, slips out the back, and Nico there once again hand passes to himself, and now clears to the outer side of the ground. It's going to go close to the boundary line. Ryan Wolf out there just trying to close in, but can't get there in time, and Palmerston with the extra number managed to get the kick in board, but nicely chopped off in defence by Dowsett again.
We've called him to do that a few times tonight, Dowsett.
Right.
I know he's a defender and he's going to be in a big score line like that. He's going to be busy, but he's been solid and he's been effective across that back line, playing that sort of quarterback role.
Yeah. So Nico chips in board, or the mark's built, but a little bit of time to try and get it forward again, but the PINT numbers have closed in as the kick comes into the goal square. Oh, just off hands, but working back hard was Dowsett again. Tidies up for Palmerston somehow and clears them away to half back, and now switch back into the corridor as Barnett gets his hand to the ball, couldn't take the mark.
Not sure what Benny Brett was doing on the forward line there. He sort of mucked everything up both sides, didn't he?
The kick out wide, just in between a couple of PINT players, and bounces over the boundary line. So 12.5 minutes gone, fourth quarter, and PINT look to be in a pretty comfortable position at this stage of the game.
You are, and you're watching the AFL&T's coverage of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season from Cazalys Arena here in Palmerston.
So from the throw-in lane in front, whack from behind.
And it's certainly not getting any cooler out there, Stu, so it's going to be hard. It's going to be, the players are going to start feeling it now. A few crampings I can see happening around the place, and it's just keeping those fluids up is so important in our league.
Yeah, absolutely right. And so Bonham with the free kick got the hand pass out wide to Nico, who kicks long into the forward half for Palmerston. The ball punched away. Ryan Wolf's going to be first there, gets onto it just inside the boundary line and kicks long inside 50 again down towards the goal square. The ball slips off her hands over the back, and PINT just happy to escort that one through for a behind.
And I know when you were at the AFL, Stu, we did a lot of work around heat exhaustion and being just as dangerous as a concussion really to players. So
yeah, that's right.
You've got to keep the fluids up. You've got to keep them cool. Things like super dupers, the ice blocks and that sort of thing. Yeah. That's all important. I noticed the Nightcliff girls team today have an ice bath they get into when they come off the ground.
Yeah, plenty of rotations as well, of course. And but it's Pint here in a pretty comfortable position as we chip away towards time on in this final quarter. But Palmerston still having a crack inside as Payne gets the hand pass out to Wack, who got caught with the ball, and Pint.
He almost gave it to him rather than handballed it to him in that case. He's trying so hard to keep possession of the football.
So Payne got it to Wharf on the outside this time. He kicks it high. Oh, big leap.
Look at that.
But, no mark taken. Play on's the call. Chalmers eventually gets the hand pass out to Malseed, who's got some time and space.
That hurts at the end of the game. That hurts.
He's landed awkwardly. But,
I think he's landed on some wind. Yeah.
But in the meantime, Pint are working it out of defence nicely as the chip kick from Warburton goes to the advantage of Ryan.
Looking very keen to get a goal here to really, show who's the boss.
So Neiled out on the lead again, has a player running forward, chips it over the top. But the mark just spilled up there by Warburton.
They're almost there, aren't they, Pint? They're not quite 100%, but they've done very well tonight. Just a few minor things they can work on. The possession out of the middle, perhaps, and just what they do when they go forward, obviously. But they're just a centimetre away of being a very, very good team.
So Bassett again with the free kick this time, chips it into the corridor, picked up on the half volley by Selwood. Selwood goes outer side and finds Wack. Wack at half back now, just runs around the player on the mark, kicks long around the wing, looking for Payne down there. Payne gets it on the bounce, but he's under pressure straight away from Malseed as the ball at ground level. Payne's back in there again, hand passes forward to Nico, out to Wharf on the outside. Wharf drills the ball back inboard. That's a clever kick, but the mark spilt. It comes out to Bonham now on the left, kicks into the goal square. Wareham there just nudged his opponent out of the way, and the ball kept in play.
Playing dangerously here, Pint, but they were able to get away with it. They ran straight back in front of goal and handballed it.
Yeah, Pendle's kick was good, and Pint able to control it out of defence once again as Harvey Cleary kicks in short, and the mark taken.
I think the Palmy Army are taking the advice of staying hydrated down there and making sure that the players know when they do make a mistake.
So Malseed around the outer side of the ground again, and Pint just looking to control the ball as Jackson takes the mark and kicks the ball inside 50 now. Out on the lead, the ball just slipped through the hands of Ryan that time, but
looked away just as he went to mark it.
Pint first to it at ground level, and kick comes in, and once again it's Chris Neald out in front, and he takes the mark this time only 20 metres or so from goal, about a 45-degree angle, but looks like he's happy to take plenty of time over this one and go back and take the set shot.
Coming in for 7th goal for Pint, you would think here, which gives them a huge lead overall.
What's going on here? Looks like a 50-metre penalty.
So it's definitely going to be a goal now. It's going to be sitting right on the paint of the goal line.
Yeah, so something off the ball, obviously, and Neald happily gets to the goal line and kicks his 4th goal for the game.
And serviceable game, obviously, Neil. When you kick 4 goals, it's great in a side that hasn't dominated in the forward line. But currently, Pints are sitting at 7 goals, 17-59. That's correct, 7 goals, 17-59. But they've straightened up a lot in this last quarter. And Palmerston sitting on 3 goals, 6-24. So a pretty big win overall for Pint, who are looking to try and keep their season alive and get a chance to have another reset going into finals in the new year.
Yeah, that's right, and I guess what it really means is that both Pint and Wanderers still give themselves a chance of fighting it out for that 5th place.
Especially with Tiwi losing today to Nightcliff and St Mary's losing last night. It's certainly given those teams both a real sniff going into the new season, the new part of the season in the new year.
Yep.
This being the second last game before Christmas, so players will be looking forward to having their 3-week break. Some go home, most stay here. Most live here, of course, and they'll be looking to reset again. It starts again when it gets really wet straight after Christmas.
Yeah, first weekend of January, so ball's hack forward now. It's the captain's shot, running clear in space, kicks long towards goal, but he's just missed again.
And he's also been good tonight, Shot. He's, without being a total dominant, he's just a solid all-round player tonight, and the sort of player that you pick first in your top 24 because they just they give you something every week, don't they?
Yeah, he's a real general, directs the play around and gets his hands on the ball in space and delivers nicely. So
a bit like his opposite captain in Sean Wilson. Yeah, they're the first players that you pick for that same reason. They just direct everything and keep it going.
So at ground level, again, there's a scramble forward as Palmerston try to work it out. They do eventually as Bazine gets a kick out. It's a high one into space, but just sitting under that pretty comfortably.
Just on the edge of the siren here, and a bit of junk time going on, as they call it. I think PINT are quite happy to just ice the clock a bit. They're probably practicing this a bit for games that are close. This is obviously not a close game. They've got a 36-point lead. Sorry, 46-point lead. 46-point lead currently. So strong 36-point lead. We'll get it right in a second. Maths was never my strong suit, but it's it's terrific effort from PINT. Just they reset themselves at half-time and weren't successful in that third quarter with goal kicking, but the last quarter they've just dominated and done very, very well.
So Maloney down the middle of the ground to a diving Riley Moan, gets it back to Maloney, who kept running, now gives by hand, and it was Neil this time passing off, and just as he was tackled, saw a spare player forward, and the kick was good, and again this will take some time off the clock, and Sam Bates for PINT will go back and have a set shot for goal.
Haven't called him much tonight, but this is an important kick for him because keeps the momentum of his season going.
So kick from Bates on the way, but again there's been plenty of those just off to the right and through for another behind. So we're into time on now.
7 goals, 19, currently 61 points. PINT plays 3-6, 24 Palmerston.
And this has actually been the highest scoring quarter of the game, with 4 goals having been scored between the sides. It's a long kick in, but plenty of PINT players there as the ball comes to ground, and work it through the hands. He's going to free kick off the ball here, and it's going to Wilson again. He's had plenty of the football tonight.
I don't know what we've learned out of this tonight's game, Stu. I guess we've learned a couple of things. Palmerston are building to be a good side for the future. What it says about PINT, I'm not sure. They have dominated, and it looks like they're going to take another shot on goal here, and they've got that one. So that's in their 8th tonight. So 8 goals, 19, 67. You'd take that scoreline apart from the 19 points. So you'd be pretty happy as a coach to go back with a massive win like that. But they haven't dominated by any stretch when it came to around the ground. I think they've dominated generally up forward, but just haven't been able to convert as they should have.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I guess with only 4 goals on the board at 3/4 time, they'd be pretty happy to score 4 in the last quarter. And Jorgensen got himself on the board there at last, and he's been a pretty good contributor most of the night as well. So
he has been a good contributor. And look, they are pretty atrocious conditions, but it looks like the groundkeeper has done a pretty good job out here at Cazalys Stadium. It's not that bad. We've had a fair bit of rain, plenty of rain over the last few weeks, and that's going to chop grounds up. And they play a lot of games, of training games and junior games on these grounds.
Exactly.
So it's hard work to keep it in good shape.
Yeah, that's right. It's not like the grounds get rested all week just for match days, but yeah, and this ground in particular is used a fair bit for junior grade matches and matches with teams out of this side of town. So.
Yep, and that cricket pitch area, and someone commented before that cricket pitches ruin football grounds. I think the cricket boys might say that football ruins cricket grounds, but it certainly chops it up in the middle there.
So Sean Wilson gets himself another disposal here with the hand pass forward over the top to Katapoulis, and the kick comes centering in towards the danger area. Off hands, Barnett does pretty well, swings the ball around high. As the ball just lobs at the top of the goal square there as Palmerston desperate to get their hands on the ball, but this time Ryan Wolf's given away a free kick just for holding on there. And
a bit of push and shove going on.
Not much need for that at this time of the game, you would think.
He's always going to be in the bottom of the pack, though, isn't he, Ryan Wolf? He's that sort of player.
So Wilson out to Thompson. Thompson finds the big fella Dale, who dominated early in the game and just been serviceable for the rest of the game as Pint look to build again round the outer side of the ground, and Pemble takes the mark this time on the left, kicks high, inside forward 50, punched away. Good defensive work from Fox, gets it over the boundary line for another boundary throw in. So siren must be close now as we tick towards 24 minutes in this final quarter.
This final call of the game, which is in the weekend of the Northern Territory Football League's No More campaign. As we said, nomore.com.au is a good place to check out all the details for that.
So from the throw in, whack in front, Main over the back, sorry, as the ball spills out, the hand pass comes out wide, and a chance for Pint again through Moore, got it back inboard. Play on's the call as ball's forced forward by Wright for Palmerston, but see Palmerston, the Pint players set up behind as Wack gets a quick kick forward, and the siren goes to end the game, one which Pint really kept Palmerston in through their inaccuracy. Palmerston kept having a crack, but in the end I think it was pretty clear that Pint were the stronger side on the night.
Much stronger, and they just good at setting up behind the ball. The run and carry game is very strong too. Just had a few problems, as we've mentioned a few times now. They need to keep going into that, but going forward. But with an 8-goal, 1967 scoreline, you'd be pretty happy with the 67 points over a side that weren't going to lay down. Now they kicked 3 goals, 6-24, but dominated in the end, and put themselves back, as we said earlier, right into the finals race. But I think there was a few standout players in Pint. Ryan Main, as we called a few times, Wilson, Jorgensen, Chalmers, Dale and Shot. And I think for Palmerston, well, there were some great contributors. Wilson, Sean Wilson, Nico, Bazzini, Dowsett, I thought were good, and Ryan Wolf just kept giving him something.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's right, and of course Chris Neild for Pint was the only multiple goal scorer of the night. He kicked 4, all the rest were singles across the board. So in the end, I think Pint happy to take the points, and there was probably some positives for both sides out of the game.
Definitely, and it's been a pleasure having you along, watching the TIO broadcast here from TIO NTFL TIO Grand here at Cazalys Arena. We'll be back next week to call the game again, and thanks for joining us.